would love to you to. I mean, it's interactive. We are actually interactive here in this channel. We try to do this live content. I would love to be doing live content. So guys, please make sure you share these videos and also smash the like on our videos for us to expand our base. But I just want to tell you guys is that my lineup will be a shocking one. If you have problems with heart issues, you shouldn't go and look at my lineup, because you might be disappointed, maybe in a good way. So yesterday, guys, Manchester United, we can I use the word trashed? We trashed the Moldavian team 3-1. It's been a while Manchester United haven't had such a result, so that's why we we are over the moon for that. I think it's a perfect result. The performance was also okay in terms of, if you want to look at football in general, in terms of what football gives to you, in terms of statistics. Manchester United, it was a dream one for United. Honestly, I can't remember a game where we dominated in all the sphere, but United yesterday showed that if we play as a team, we can just get there. Oh, I want to use what our fellow subscriber here always use. He uses this quote that we are going somewhere. That's from Onjun. Yeah, guys, there is before we move on, please, guys, make sure you smash the like on the video. It's very important if you want to bring in other fans so you can interact with them. And I want to say that I've just made a poll here on the community section asking you guys that should Garnacho start? And there is a reason why I'm asking you guys this question. Should Garnacho start? Not only because he was unbelievable yesterday, but simply because I think that it will be a massive, or if you don't know what massive means, it will be a great decision from our manager to show not only that he has the balls, but he has the courage to change things in Manchester United. Hey guys, before we continue, I just want to tell you guys, I'm doing a giveaway here before the Christmas. We're giving one of this. This is a Christmas heart from the United Way. Our merchandise that we have, is great quality, not made in China. Nothing against China, but not made in China, made in Europe. So it's made with gold and Bordeaux, I think gold and blood. So if you want to be get one of these, all you need to do is to be a subscriber, follow our socials. I'll be doing advertisements there, or announcement, maybe not adverts, but announcement on this channel, on this platform. Get involved with the United Way, build your community of which you can express yourself. Drop your comments here on the United Way, and we will always get back to you, because this is what we do here on the United Way for sure. So yeah, I just want to say this clearly to you guys, that I was thrilled by the way we performed yesterday. I was impressed by United performance yesterday. I think there are many things we could take away there. Our defense had no issues. I don't want to hear. I've been listening to you guys saying that, oh yeah, Harry Maguire had this fantastic game. I don't think Maguire. I think he had an okay game. You don't test a defender when he is not under pressure. You don't test certain players when they are not under pressure. So I think that's a bad way. That's not the right way to look at things in general. So let's get straight into our lineup here. I want to tell you guys what I will use. So before we start, I just want to tell you guys, give you guys a little bit of insight between Manchester United in history, United and West Ham. Actually, Manchester United has met for, our last 65 home games. Manchester United have won 46, has drawn 10. They drew 10 and lost 9. Yeah, the Red Devils will be going into 5 wins. So this will be 5 wins in a row if we can. 5 wins in 6 meetings if we can pull this one through. Manchester, we know that West Ham has done a lot of investment of late, and they have the player to look for West Ham, which I think is going to be dangerous, will be Gianluca Scamacca. I thought Scamacca would be a Manchester United player, to be honest. I thought Scamacca is a player which we United would have looked at. Gianluca Scamacca, 23 years of age. He used to play for Salamanca. What did he play? He played for the Italian team called. The Italian teams are quite very difficult to pronounce, actually. He played for a team called, yeah, so here we go. So he played for Italian team called Genoa, yeah. not very far from where Sampdoria is. I think from Genoa is a city, and Sampdoria also is a club here in Genoa. So I just want to say that Scamacca is a dangerous one. But personally, if you want to get my honest opinion here on this one, I want to tell you guys that I think that this game will be won in the midfield. The way United has to go, the reason why I'm putting, if you look at the thumbnail, I did put on United's part on the thumbnail, I did put not Cristiano Ronaldo, but I went with Casemiro and Garnacho because I think those two players will be very relevant tomorrow. Casemiro because he's an holding midfielder. I think Casemiro is so important for Manchester United. When the season started, I kept talking about Lisandro Martinez. That's correct, but I think Casemiro. The reason why it is easier, you need to be a football person to understand the functions or the importance of Casemiro in the Manchester United team. He is the natural, proper holding midfielder, what we call CDM. So if you look here, CDM, central defense midfielder, he is just so defensive, box to box. He has all the baggage. He's a player that has won 5 Champions League. So, I mean, you can see why he is very performant. Guys, please make sure you smash a like on the video, guys. And I want to get your lineup. That's why I'm putting this here. I'm giving a challenge to you guys. I want to know what lineup will you use. Are you going to start Garnacho tomorrow? Just tell me, are you going to start Garnacho not tomorrow, on Sunday again? West Ham, should Garnacho be started? Because I would give you guys a shocking lineup which I'm going to use right away, and you guys will be surprised and of who I will put on the bench. I'm not saying Ten Hag has leaked the lineup because Ten Hag has a different way, but as a United fan, I guess all of you guys, most of you United fan, you guys are so close to your club like I am, as I'm a fan just like you. But what I will go on here, let me just start up with the lineup. As I said, the reason why I put Cristiano Ronaldo's picture here, because I think he's vital. I think West Ham is a physical team. And I think Marcus Rashford has the speed, right? Marcus Rashford is quite athletic, that's the word. Yeah, the right proper word is athletic. But the question is, I'm not really sure if Rashford is that physical, and this is a problem that we need to solve Manchester United. And that's why I think Cristiano Ronaldo should start this game. But let me just go with that lineup and tell me what you guys think, right? If I'm the manager of Manchester United, considering who has played and performance that we have, I will go with De Gea. I mean, all of us we do. Central back, I will go with Lisandro Martinez and Lindelof. But I have a very strong feeling that Ten Hag is going to use Harry Maguire. Why? Because I think Scamacca is a tall player. They do have this attacker from Jamaica. The name just slipped out of my head. And he is also a very physical player. I think Ten Hag is someone who's so methodological. He's a methodological manager. He is going to be very careful when he makes his choices of the players. So I think Harry Maguire's height, just his height, will just get him through over Lindelof. But I will stick with Lindelof. Why? I know for a fact that he is going to bring Harry Maguire back. Going back with the left, I think the left will be Luke Shaw. Luke Shaw is more experienced in the Premier League than Tyrion Malacia. So Luke Shaw obviously is going to start at the left. I will put Luke Shaw on the left, right? In this game, Malacia had a perfect game yesterday. Malacia was so offensive, defensive, hard guys, learning, trying to get used to the league, which is something we need in Manchester United. Then on the right, Diego Dalot. We have heard these rumors that Manchester United wants to get is searching for a right back, which I think is a good thing. That brings also competition for Manchester United, the club. And so I will go with Diego Dalot, because I mean Harry Wan-Bissaka wasn't back yesterday. And the holding midfielder, I will not start with Donny van de Beek for sure, but yeah, we'll do normally. I mean, Casemiro will play the holding midfielder. We play alongside with Eriksen for me, yeah, because we need that creativity from Eriksen. And our 6 the 3 attackers, the central midfielder again, central attacking midfielder, which I'll go Bruno Fernandes on the right, the Silva, Anthony on the left. You know what? On the left, I'm going to go with Garnacho. I need a player that we are playing at Old Trafford. It's not an away game. I need a player that will put pressure on West Ham when they try to hit us on a break. And Garnacho is that player. There is something, you guys know, you guys, I don't know, many of you, I'm sure many of you watching these videos, because this is a young generation, you guys are, maybe if you're a 20 years old Manchester United fan, or maybe even 10 years old United fan, you might have not known who Cristiano Ronaldo was. There was this image as a kid, when there was this image after the game yesterday where Ronaldo was walking out of the pitch, and he actually, you could see Garnacho by his side. I think that brought Ronaldo the memories when he came to Manchester United. If you look properly, there is an image here in Manchester United where Ronaldo, when he came, was walking closer to Roy Keane when they were walking out of the pitch. Maybe not so emotionally, but you could see they were giving Ronaldo orders. Back then, he didn't understand English very well, but they were giving him orders. Guys, please make sure if you're learning something in this video, or want to be part of the community, smash that like on the video. Simple. It is free for like, subscription as well. And we do a lot of watch alongs. We do daily content on the United Way. We're more organic, and if you do have some questions, you can drop them below. We're going to read it and give you guys a shout out. It's no big deal. So anyway, as I said, that the image yesterday, Garnacho walking out of the pitch with Cristiano Ronaldo, really touched my mind, because you see, the most important thing what big clubs do, they don't only buy players for the millions that most of you want. The bigger clubs, they try to also nurture players. They are good at giving that confidence in the new generation of players so they can be productive. But this is what Manchester United should do. I didn't say they're going to do it, but this is what I think they should do. If you watch Messi first time coming from Manchester United, when he came from the bench, Messi firstly played, some of you think under Guardiola, he played for Manchester United under Rijkaard, the Dutch player under Rijkaard. And Rijkaard gave him some minutes. Then Guardiola just came and gave him that confidence for playing for the team. So I think Garnacho is a player that Ten Hag can make it or break it with the player. And don't forget, Garnacho has his contract rundowns in the summer, and Manchester United needs to make a decision, because there are rumors that you have Barcelona, Real Madrid, and all the top European clubs who are behind Garnacho big time. So if United does make an error for Garnacho, it will be catastrophic for Manchester United. It will be a shame, because when you talk about the United way, which the channel is about, it's more about the way we do, bring up our youth, our quick transition, the family way of doing things here in the United way, which is more supported by making younger players having the belief that if they do play well, they will play for Manchester United. And I think Garnacho's performance yesterday has just been that elite. Yeah, he needs to be given time. He needs to be held and talked to. And yeah, I did. Yeah, the interview about our manager Ten Hag yesterday, when he said he wasn't happy with Garnacho, but for the last hours before this game, Garnacho has been very productive. I think the thing is that when you have a young child, especially seeing what we had a genius player like in Mason Greenwood, you have to manage them properly, because these young guys coming into clubs, having all this finance, which they can only dream of, if they are not managed properly, they can actually not only destroy their career, but destroy their life. If you think what I'm saying is crap, just look at what's going on with Mason Greenwood. So discipline plays a massive role in you being a professional footballer. I think most of you love to be footballers. I don't know, most of you are young, maybe playing football at certain years. I did in a very good level, so I know what I'm talking about when it comes to being disciplined. And I understand properly why Ten Hag is not in a rush with these youths. You need to nurture them properly. So I think they are in good hands. I think Garnacho is going to excel, and Garnacho is going to actually extend his contract with Manchester United. But we need to give him games. The question was I asked you guys if you guys want to take part. I asked a question here: should Garnacho play? So 5 of you have just voted. I've just asked a question in the community section. Very simple. If you understand some English, should Garnacho start against West Ham? If you were the manager, should Garnacho start? Just go to the community section. It's a yes or no. You don't need to write in English. Just click a yes or no. I want to get what you think. Should Garnacho start? Because I think the fact that he played really well yesterday, and he was our man of the match in the channel. I don't know about you guys, but I think he was one of the most influential players yesterday by far. I think he needs to be given at least first 45 minutes tomorrow. On Sunday against West Ham. He needs to be trusted. That's what I'm trying to say. Guys, please make sure you smash a like on the video if you are enjoying the stream today. In the next couple of minutes, we can go for us to take this stream longer. Smash that like button, and we are going to continue the stream again because we have also some transfer news at the end of the stream, which might be very important for you guys here, or interesting for you guys. Let's put it this way. Yeah, so we are seeing those of you taking part in the votes here. Should Garnacho stand? It's 100%. So all of you are with Garnacho. For all of you are with Garnacho, I'm seeing is going up. So 100% now. Everybody thinks Garnacho should start the game, and I can tell you guys why I think Garnacho should start this game, because I think Garnacho yesterday, he came in because he kept Sancho on the bench, he kept Elanga on the bench because of his quality. And when you have a momentum from a player, you need to push this player forward. Some will say it's too much, it's too big for him to start the Premier League. I say no. I think clubs need to give these players this energy, give this player this confidence. Guys, please, again, thanks for all of you clicking, taking part in this little taking part in this question. Please make sure you smash a like on the video. That helps to bring in other United fans into the stream. If you want us to continue the stream, or I can off the stream immediately. Please, if you want us to continue, please smash a like button. I will see you guys doing this like and we'll continue. Well, as I said, I'm also inviting you guys. We're doing a giveaway. I would love a Manchester United fan to win this. We're giving away these hearts. Most of you who want to take part, all you need to do is just subscribe. Also follow us on our socials. Just be part of the community. Most of us, please share these videos with friends. Share these videos with Manchester United friends. The reason why you see the views here is because we are just a new young channel. We will go on through this project with or without you. So please share these videos if you are a Manchester United fan. Here we talk only about Manchester United, nothing else. So if you are a football lover, want to learn some tactics, I did professional football at a certain level. I can help you guys also on those questions. So I think I had this question about Cristiano Ronaldo. Should he start tomorrow? I think yes. I think Marcus Rashford should be on the bench. Not because he won't play well. I think Rashford is slowly becoming that impact player. We are playing Old Trafford. I know he will not be in the bench. But if I want to ask you guys, is Mark, thanks for the likes. For those of you liking the video, you guys are legends, because it's important to like this video if you want to be having streams on daily and me bringing you guys updates. I know some of you are watching this from your office, from school, from your iPhones, and but the channel needs your support. I'm not asking you any penny. Just a like will be very perfect for the stream today, and I will go on with the stream. So we have nine of you who have just voted there, and yeah, all of you are saying Garnacho should start. So I think I want to ask, should Rashford be in the bench? Because the question what I'll do tomorrow on the stream to ask who should be on the bench. Should it be Rashford on the bench or Cristiano Ronaldo? Why? I want to tell you guys why I think so. Because if you look at the post-match yesterday interview with Ten Hag said something which was very interesting. He said, I brought in Rashford to play as a 10 with Cristiano Ronaldo. Why? Because he thinks at some point he might have to use both of them, Rashford and Ronaldo, not on the wing, but as a 10. And if you know, Bruno Fernandes yesterday went and played at the right side of the pitch. Did you notice that? And Bruno playing on the right side of the pitch, he gave a quality cross that brought Ronaldo's goal. Ten Hag even went as far as saying he wasn't really happy with the gesture made by Antony. The thing with professional football, I've played in this environment. I think most of you play football or you have watched a lot of football. With professional football, humans, we are very, I don't want to use the word a lot, very, but we are quite fragile. Whenever certain situations can play in our mind, and when these situations play in our mind, it does affect our performance. So if Antony goes in the pitch and understand that he will never be in the bench no matter what. Thanks for all of you coming in, guys. Please smash a like on the video. Very simple, and you can walk out from the stream. When you smash that like button, you bring in United fans. It's very simple. It's not a magic. The reason why most of your channels you go in which you support, they grow, is because people like you support them. So if you can just drop me a like and go to where you want to go, that would be very helpful. So let me come back to the point. So I think at some point Ten Hag, if Antony doesn't perform properly for Manchester United, Ten Hag is going to jump Antony. Why? Because he understands that For a player to play well, the player has to be motivated. Yes, he said it was already a pre-planned thing for him taking Anthony out, but that's fine. But I think in most cases, managers want players who are motivated. And sometimes you can see that. We are fans. I think nobody knows Manchester United, the team on the pitch, than you and me, because I watch every game. I guess you as well, you read about Manchester United. So this is what I'm trying to say, that what I'm basically trying to say is that they are, let me say, 4 players in Manchester United are stable players now. And I can name them for you if you want to hear. I think Bruno Fernandes, I think the goalkeeper, De Gea, I think Casemiro, and I think Lisandro Martinez. I would have meant 5, Varane, but Varane isn't. Yeah, some can say even 5. Yes, you can put Delo as well, because he doesn't have a competition there on the right. So guys, please make sure you smash a like on the video. You're 23 of you watching it. If you can get 20 likes now, we are continuing the stream. Or I can just close the stream, because if we cannot make that happen, then it makes no use. But thanks all of you for coming into the stream. It is not over yet, but I just want to get, if you do have some questions, you can drop them below. I'm going to answer them. If you have some questions, you can write your question below, and I'm going to answer them about Manchester United. So we have 13 people who already voted. Yeah, I asked a question in the community section. Should Garnacho start against West Ham on Sunday? And 13 has voted. You might see your voting as nothing, but it's so important, because when this channel grows, Manchester United, the club, will be getting informations. It's called secondary information from channels like this. So you will be important. And guys, I want to tell you guys, the reason why I encourage you guys to subscribe to the channel is because I'll be doing some interviews with some sporting journalists in the UK, and your questions will be answered by these journalists. And I've been told I need to build a kind of audience for real United fans. That's why I'm leaving everything to you guys to decide. That's why I'm asking you guys to always like these videos, because I'm giving you guys a pathway, if you read on the channel, to communicate with the club. And it starts somewhere, and this is where we are starting. Our project for the channel is not to compete with other. Manchester United is a massive community. We have over 500 million fans worldwide. So please, when I want to invite you guys, when we have watch along, when United is playing, you can go on your YouTube, and also you will always see me online, because I help with the tactical stuff on the games. Also, we exchange opinions, and it's fun. You don't need to pay me a penny. We don't need money in this channel. It's not our problem. We don't have problem with finance. I'm not the poorest guy out there. But all I need from you guys is just that you guys should get involved with the channel. Please share them with all the social medias. As I said, I'm giving away one of these. We have the 2 of them in colors. If you watch the videos, you will see them. By Christmas, it will be a Christmas present. One of you will win them. So there is it. Well, guys, as I said, thanks again for you guys, all of you smashing that like button. It's very important. You have no idea what it means to the channel, because it helps to bring people into the stream, as I've said many times. So let's give a round up on the stream here. I'll go for goalkeeper De Gea. Right, defense. I don't think Maguire should be on the bench. I don't think Maguire should start the game. But I think Maguire is going to start, because West Ham are playing with very tall players. So I think they'll use Maguire and Lisandro. So you have the height issues in terms of corner kick. The left, Luke Shaw is there. You have on the right, on the right, you have Delo. In the midfield, Casemiro and Eriksson. Then you have Bruno in front of them. On the right, you have Da Silva. And I will keep Garnacho on the left and attack Cristiano Ronaldo. Why did I go for Ronaldo instead of Rashford? Because I think Ronaldo is physically ready to play against such a defense, not Rashford. Rashford can. We're playing Old Trafford. We can do long balls. But I bet you guys, West Ham will be playing on the back foot. Yeah. West Ham will be playing a low block. Greetings from Ghana. Hey, my Ghana guy, Thomas Donka. How are you doing, guys? Please share the video. I just want to say this also. So that's what my lineup, as I said. But before I leave, I want to give this announcement to you, all my African friends here. Manchester United have fan channels around the world. You guys know them on YouTube. We have in the UK here, we have fan channels. Around the world, in Asia, in the US. We don't have a fan channel that represents African base. A fan channel that is there on Manchester United. So it depends on you guys if you want it. I keep reminding you, when you look at all these bigger channels, they are made by you. This football channel, I have my private channel. This football channel is about you. So please share these channels with all your Manchester United fans. Get them involved. And let's build something special where you guys, the African base of Manchester football team, and you can always communicate with the journalists, which I want. I've been given a task to have 10,000 subscribers so that we can make this happen. I would love that by the end of the season, we can hit this. So during the transfer season, you guys can drop questions here on the channel and I give them to these journalists. They will be answering them live in front of you guys. So please, guys, make sure you subscribe and join the channel, share them. And tomorrow at this time of the day, we always come out with some contents. There are a lot of developments in Manchester United. I always love when it is confirmed before I bring them out because I hate just spreading fake news. That's it. So yeah. The coach should start him. Okay, Thomas has been with me. I'll close it there. Thanks, Thomas. Make sure you smash that like button. Every time you see the videos, every video you watch on the United Way, just click the like button. That brings in more fans, so people will know who are you, Thomas. I'll give you a shout out if you have a comment on the channel. That would be very happy. Also, let's go now. So we are ending the poll. 16 of you I asked, should Garnacho start against West Ham, and 16 of you voted, and we had Thomas from Donka who dropped the comment saying that the coach should start him. Thomas, I'm not the coach of Manchester United, but I will start in, and you are in the majority, I am sure. So guys, please smash a like on the video. Stay in tune with the United Way. Subscribe, like all the videos, and talk to you soon. Have a nice day, guys. Ciao.
Hi Gary, Richard from Sky Sports News. How you doing? Can we start with injuries, please? How are Neto and Dominic Solanke?
Neto will be out. He has an issue with his hamstring. We're not sure how long. It won't be short term. It'll be fairly long term, we think. In that, I mean, it won't be a week or two. So Neto's going to be out for the next couple at least. Dom's a lot better than expected, so good news on Dom. He's recovered well, and we're still hopeful.
Okay, shall we get VAR out of the way first off?
I mean, I've got it out of the way already, but we can get it out of the way again if you want. Yeah.
I think you said it was getting ridiculous on Monday night. Obviously we saw what happened last night as well, and different views on how that's all interpreted. What are your views on the way it's being used at the moment?
I don't have a problem with VAR. I think it should help us reach the right decision more often than we would without it. So yeah, I don't have a problem with VAR really. I think it definitely has a place. I think whenever I've discussed it, and especially with referees and officials, I've always just said I hope that we just continue to improve and find a way to arrive at the right conclusion more often, and I think that's obviously what everyone hopes for. So yeah, that's where I am with it really.
Is that the frustration then, more getting the rub of the green, consistency, or even maybe some of the ways that laws are interpreted?
Yeah, I think that. Yeah, I mean, since the game on Monday night, I haven't thought about it at all because I'm so keen to move on and focus on what we can control and what we need to do. And I don't have time to try and fix laws and things of the game. So focus purely on ourselves. But yeah, whatever it is, I just feel that if we arrive at the wrong conclusion as often as we are, then something needs hopefully to improve. That's basically where. I just hope eventually we find the right conclusion more than we have done recently.
Yeah, let's move on then. Yeah. I mean, it is 2 successive defeats, but that came off such a good run. Has anything changed in those games that you're looking to put right in particular?
Yeah, there was stuff that I wanted to put right in the first 6 as well, to be honest. So yeah, there's things that we're working on. First half at West Ham, we weren't as good as I would have liked us to have been. Second half, I thought we played well. Thought we wrestled back some control and were the dominant force without. We had some good situations without really testing the goalkeeper. But then when I look at the other end, our goalkeeper wasn't tested either, really. So, apart from the breakaway where they get the penalty at the end, I thought we had a real good second half performance where you felt something might happen for us.
Yeah, Tottenham's form is a little bit indifferent. I know it's not like a fantastic time to play any club like that, but in front of your own fans, with them in that form, is it a good time?
I don't know. Obviously, they're an extremely talented side, great squad, great manager. Have had a good start to the season. Obviously, the last couple of results have been tricky for them. Got Lucas Moura back, which has allowed them to go back to 3-4-3, which they played for the start of the season when they were on a good run. Obviously, they were missing Moura, Richarlison and Kulusevski all at the same time, so they'd gone to 5-3-2 for a while, but have managed to switch back. So, to have a front three of Moura, Son and Kane when you're missing Richarlison and Kulusevski already shows the quality and the depth that they have. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to the game. I think, as you say, at home in front of our own fans, boys will be looking forward to getting back here. And another chance for us to go and put on a good performance. Just
finally from me, you're asked the same question before and after every match about the job. Do you expect to at least have it through to the World Cup?
No, I don't expect anything. I'm just getting ready for. I expect to have it for Tottenham. I expect to do well against Tottenham, and then we'll see where we are after Tottenham.
Hi Gary, just on the goalkeeping situation, then obviously Mark Travers was left out by you after the 9 went in against him. What psychological challenge is he facing coming back in now with an opportunity as the number 1 again, it would appear?
No, I don't think he'll have a psychological challenge. I think his training performances and how he's been since that moment have been top draw. And I have zero concerns around putting him back in. I think I made it very clear when the change was made that I was delighted to have both of them, and that I saw them both as number 1s, and it was just Neto at that moment for whatever reasons I felt. But yeah, putting Mark Travers back in doesn't concern me at all. I have full faith in him.
Neto obviously has the march on Travers in experience. What therefore has Neto added to the team that you'll lose without him?
Yeah, he brought a calmness to us. He helped us sort of steady the ship when we'd had some tough results. But when I was asked about it initially, I said I'm really pleased to have them both because Trav is a top goalkeeper. He makes top saves. When he trains with us as a team, when we do our team stuff, he's been making fantastic saves. Whenever I check in with a goalkeeper coach as to what they're doing when they're not with us, he always says he was top again. So yeah, as I said at the time, we're fortunate that we've got 2 that we can put in.
You may be aware he had the game of his life at home to Spurs. He saved everything a couple of seasons back when Bournemouth beat Spurs. So that's a nice little marker for the weekend.
Yeah, I'll get him watching that.
Get him watching that on repeat. Yeah. Just at the other end, obviously we spoke before about putting the ball in the net and where it's just coming up short for you at the moment. Have you found any more answers as to the processes behind the fact that you're finding it difficult to score?
No, there's loads of reasons why that could be an issue. It's always, if you go first half against West Ham, we turn the ball over too often before we get to that part of the pitch when we had real good situations that we would have definitely arrived and caused them problems if we'd have been better in those situations. Second half against West Ham, we arrive and we miss. I think we missed a couple of crosses where we were sort of in on goal. We had a couple of decent sort of headed opportunities. So no, I think it's the most difficult part of the pitch to execute, especially at this level. And yeah, we need to be really clinical when we arrive there because, especially against big teams, you generally don't see as much of the ball. So you need when you arrive in that area, you need to be clinical, and we have been. To be fair, we go away to Nottingham Forest and score 3. We go away to Newcastle, and you've seen what Newcastle have done since, and take the lead for a great goal. The goals at Fulham were very, very good. 2 at home to Leicester. So yeah, I don't think it's difficult, but I don't think it's an alarming situation, the amount of goals we've scored so far. I think if you look at the table and where we are in recent weeks for goals scored, I think we're doing okay.
Final one from me. The league table has Spurs as the highest opponents that you'll have played since you've been in charge. Does that naturally make them the toughest challenge so far that you've faced as a manager?
Yeah, I think I think from the outside, everyone will expect them to finish very high up the league. But I did say the same about Newcastle. Newcastle are very, very good. But yeah, Spurs have got world-class players, world-class manager who has been there a while now. They have a real clear identity with and without the ball. So it'll be a tough test, but one that I'm really, really looking forward to.
I did forget one. I know your son's a Spurs fan, isn't he?
Yes,
Any issues there in the house this week?
No, he wants us to win. He said, yeah, he's keen for Bournemouth to win. So that was nice of him.
How does that? Why is he a Spurs fan? Let's just explain how.
My wife's dad was a big Spurs fan, and obviously I'm fairly busy at weekends generally. So he started going to Spurs with my wife's dad. I was keen for him to go and watch, and he loves it. So, and they've got a nice stadium, so I thought I'd send him to a nice stadium to watch his football. So,
do you get the chance to take him, or obviously?
I've been a couple of times with him. Not as often as you would like to, but occasionally if the game. I think last year we went a couple of times on a Sunday, maybe. He loves his football. So, but yeah, he'll be pushing for a Bournemouth win like the rest of us.
Just staying on the Spurs theme there, we've got Adam Smith, who's currently captaining the team, leading the team. Just tell us how important a player he is off the pitch as well as on. We can all see him on the pitch, off the pitch as well. Yeah,
he's been really good, really, really good. Obviously, he knows his way around the club. He's been here a long time, played an awful lot of football matches. He's been brilliant for me off the pitch, on the pitch, as you say. The role of a captain is important, of course. So to have him stepping in for Lloydie. Lloydie is obviously a huge loss for us as well. So to have Smudge to step in has been good.
It's an important game. It's the Rainbow Laces campaign this weekend as well. Just tell us how important, and the players can be role models at this time.
I think it's very important. I think the game's come a long way. Obviously, still work to be done. But everyone's aware that, and I'm glad that we're in a place where more people feel like they can be themselves and be open around what they are and how they feel. Obviously, we've got our own group here, the Proud Cherries, who do some real good work. It's a nice reminder for everyone.
Evening, everyone. Welcome to LFC Day Trippers and Premier League Forecast. Tonight, we're joined by Luke Tanner, Joe Wyman, and Joe from Albion Obsessed. So at least I'm not going to get names wrong. No, Luke, and it's Joe. So when I say this is where it's going to get confusing when I start saying I'll ask Joe a question and it'll be like blah, blah, blah. But we'll work through it. We'll get through it. How's everyone been this week? All right? All good?
Yeah, all good. Thanks.
All good. You had a busy week, Luke, didn't you?
Yes. I got the pleasure to interview a UFC fighter, UFC heavyweight Chris Barnett this week, which was a great interview. He was a great guy. Had a half an hour interview with him. Could have easily chatted all night, but yeah, it was a great interview, and that's up on my YouTube channel, which I put up this evening. So yeah, make sure after this to go and check it out and show it some love. Yeah, it was massive for me.
That's really good. Well, last night the guys did brilliant show. To be fair, it was an FSG in-out show. It was Matt put in absolutely hours of work into it, and Gav, Shawnee, and Donks that came on. Jonathan was absolutely brilliant. It's in the shows that we've done. If you haven't seen it, go and watch it. It is without that. It's 2 hours, but I couldn't get over that it was 2 hours. It was one of those shows that just flew, and it covered so much ground. Definitely well worth catching up on if you haven't seen it. But look, we'll get into this weekend's fixtures, and we'll start. We'll start with Brighton and Chelsea. And Joe, you've got your old boss coming back. How first and foremost, how's he going to be? How's he going to be received?
Uh, it's going to be a mixed one for sure. There's definitely fans that, want to give him utmost respect for what he gave to our football club, but there's also I would say the majority of fans a bit angry at, the fact that he's taken all of our backroom staff, including two club legends, and has now come in for our head of recruitment as well. So there's definitely a lot of animosity from Brighton fans towards Chelsea as a whole club. I'm not going to blame it on just solely Graham Potter, but I think it's going to be quite the atmosphere tomorrow. And I hope it goes in the way that we support our new manager and show Graham Potter essentially what he's missing out on. I know you'll come back at me and say, oh, yeah, but he'll look at his pay packet and he'll be fine. But at the end of the day, we want to, give him the worst homecoming possible.
But it's not just Graham Potter coming back; it's Cucurella as well. So I mean, the thing is, the Serbians come in. We obviously saw firsthand. His first game in charge was at Anfield, and come away with a point. Delighted with life. He must have been happy with the result, given in fairness, he could have got the 3. Trossard was brilliant on the day. But how's it gone? Because I haven't spoken to you since. How's it gone since in the games? Because I haven't watched much of Brighton, to be honest with you.
Yes, but it's been tough. We've had obviously you guys, we've had Spurs and Man City in the 5 games that we've had since we last spoke, and a couple of results against Brentford and Nottingham Forest that were really frustrating. But you're just waiting for things to click, and I feel like it's been a really tough start for him. The game against Forest, we were absolutely fantastic. The issue was that we couldn't put the ball in the back of the net. But that's not new to us Brighton fans. We saw that with Graham Potter last season as well. So, as I said, it's not new to us. We're a very patient bunch, and we're just waiting for it to click, and hopefully it clicks tomorrow against a former manager and former backroom staff, former tea lady, former God knows what else they're taking from us. So, yeah.
It's mental at the minute. What the other thing I was going to ask you actually, have you noticed much difference in the football?
No, I haven't.
Has he tried to keep the same as what Graham Potter was doing, the same kind of system, same patterns of play, set pieces, that kind of thing?
Yeah, definitely against Liverpool, because it was his first game in charge. He sort of was sticking to the Graham Potter philosophy and sticking to what the players knew. But they're very similar coaches, and they like to play possession football. They like to pass teams off the pitch, and yeah, I think it's going to be quite a seamless transition for our players. Again, the issue that has occurred, we're not a stranger to. So I think it's just about getting to January, getting a couple more players in that the Roberto De Zerbi wants for his style of football, and just seeing where we go from there.
Fair enough. Luke, Chelsea under Potter. Have you first of all, have you seen much of him? And what have you made of the way he's transitioning the side from how Tuchel used to play into more along the lines of how he sees the game and how he wants to get the most out of certain players, especially the likes of Mason Mount?
Yeah, I've not seen much of them, but as much as I have seen, I've not seen much of a difference from Chelsea under Tuchel to Chelsea under Potter. Still the same bunch of players. They look good in possession, create loads of chances, still can't finish them. So they're pretty much the same as last season, but with a different manager, I suppose. I don't really see much of a difference in terms of the style of play. Potter's still playing 3 at the back. Yeah, there isn't much of a difference compared to the two of them. Really, yeah. They brought in Cucurella, Aubameyang. Aubameyang's not really hit the ground running as I was expecting him to sort of be. Even though that he was a stopgap signing, I was expecting him to sort of hit the ground running to sort of ease Chelsea's woes in front of goal. But I think last game out, it wasn't exactly the most clinical. But yeah, it's like Chelsea are just a more expensive version of Brighton. Create loads of great chances, played good football, still can't finish. That's pretty much it.
I mean, Joe, you're around the houses when it comes to the podcast scene, and you talk to Chelsea fans. How are they coming across? How are they, the people that you talk to? How are they seeing this move for Potter? And are they like, I mean, with the new owner and everything, the new investment that's come into the club,
Yeah.
how do you think their season is evolving? Because they almost, with the amount of money that they've spent, they have to achieve something this season.
Yeah, I don't think they've spent it well, to be honest, Kev. I don't think they've spent it well at all. When you consider what they've bought, I still think I agree with you, man. I still think they need a number 9. Who's going to get them a lot of goals. Like's been said, Aubameyang's a bit of a stopgap signing, but I think for me, Graham Potter is an amazing coach. An amazing guy. I think I was gutted that he went to Chelsea because I wanted him for the England job. And he's gone there, and I don't like Chelsea anyway. I just think they'll go from strength to strength under his tutelage. For him to do what he did to Brighton, and this is not meant in any sort of disrespect whatsoever, he took them to 9th, you know what I mean? I think Joe will say himself that's a huge achievement for a club of Brighton's stature, really. Some of the football they played was phenomenal. Had he have stayed this season, it makes you wonder just how far he could have taken them. I genuinely think they could have, at least got in that top 10 again. And then you never know. Listen, Sean Dyche got Burnley into Europe one year, so you just never know. I know it might sound mad, but I think De Zerbi, it will take time, for him to get his ideas across, and it'll be interesting to see what he does about the striker in January, because I love Danny Welbeck. I would take Danny Welbeck in a heartbeat at Leeds United because I really, really enjoy him, but he's not a goal scorer. He's a bit like Bamford in that respect. Brings everything else, but it's just the finishing. So if they did have a strike, it feels almost like we've gone back in time to when Potter was still, and they were the XG champions kind of thing. And then it's like they eventually started to do really well under him and actually score goals. And then he's now gone and they're having to sort of restart again. But sorry, I've answered Brighton and Chelsea there. But
No, you crack on.
I think Brighton get a result though, just because of the Potter effect, and he's coming to the Amex and the likes of Trossard, and that will be well up for it. So I think they might get a result, Kev.
I hope so, but
Yeah.
I'll come back to Joe. Joe, we were talking before we came on, and we didn't realize how hit with injuries Brighton really are at the minute. And when you try to think of an 11 to put out with, how to combat Chelsea, you could be in a bit of trouble tomorrow, couldn't you?
Yeah, it's a headache. As I said before we came on, that's certainly a headache that I wouldn't want. And yeah, props to De Zerbi for having to make that selection tomorrow, because obviously Joel Veltman not available, Tarek Lamptey's a doubt. I think there's maybe one more that we're making a decision on in Matoma. And he's been excellent since he's come back off of loan from USG. So yeah, it's going to be tough. If I had to pick an 11, I honestly don't think I could off the top of my head at the moment. De Zerbi's got a real challenge on his hands to pick an 11 that's going to go toe to toe with Chelsea, and yeah, it's going to be really interesting.
One name that keeps cropping up among Liverpool fans quite a lot is Moses Caicedo.
Yeah.
And we were linked with him at the end of the summer window, and me included. I hope we go back in for him. How good has he been this season, and how important is keeping him and some of the others around going forward for De Zerbi? Because the one thing that I thought with Potter when he left is how many heads will have been turned by that move if they don't take to De Zerbi.
Yeah, regards Caicedo, you don't want him. He's rubbish. No, stay away. Stay away. No, Caicedo's been a revelation. He came in because we were struggling for midfielders last season, and I think Graham Potter was sort of, not pressured, but I feel like he thought, okay, I haven't got anything to lose here, so I'm just going to chuck this guy in and see what he does. And he was absolutely phenomenal. I think he played 10 games at the end of the season, and he's carried that form through to this season as well. And I think he's easily one of our most important players in the midfield. And I see a comment under there saying,
I was gonna you ask,
bringing in Caicedo to Chelsea. I mean, he's taken everyone else.
have Brighton got the financial power to be able to say no? Because especially to someone like Caicedo, because he will have offers from multiple clubs. Do you think the Brighton owners will have taken it personally? You know, that not only has Potter gone, but he's literally gutted the club from the backroom of the club, as well as him leaving, especially given when it was in the season.
I think what they have to do is show the fans some sort of resilience. But then when you're talking multi-million pounds transfer offers for Caicedo, you're probably talking up to £60 million. That's the sort of money that we can't turn down. You know, we saw Basuma leave for 35 because he had a year left on his contract. We saw Cucurella leave for 62 million. Ben White for 50. So, you know, I don't think the Brighton board have it in them to stand in the way of players if they do want to move on and see if the grass is greener on the other side. That's never been our stance in transfer windows. Very frustrating from a fan's point of view because, of course, we want the best players possible at our football club. Yeah. But we know that's not realistic in the Premier League. You've seen it happen to Southampton. You've seen it happen to so many other clubs. So I think you would, as a Brighton fan, you would be silly not to think that Caicedo would move on. But we just have to sort of enjoy him while we've got him. Alexis McAllister signed a new deal in the week. Really
that's a big positive, isn't it?
Massive. That's huge for us. The next one for us is Leandro Trossard. We have to get him down on a new deal. Everyone's saying, all the press is saying he's got 1 year left on his contract. That is not true. He's got a year that we can trigger at the end of his contract. So if Chelsea do come in for him, they will be having to pay a substantial amount. I really feel like our owners have to put their foot down and say, look, if Chelsea come in, we had a Chelsea premium. We times the transfer fee by 3 because Graham Potter or Todd Bowley or whoever it is coming in and gutting our club, it's got to stop somewhere. I don't know anywhere where this has happened to another club at this extreme level. And it's a little bit like, just leave us alone now because they're coming for our head of recruitment in the week as well.
Yeah.
So
I mean, it was bad. You lost Dan Ashworth to Newcastle.
Yeah.
And the guy who replaced Ashworth is the guy that Chelsea want, yeah?
No, he's stepped up to director of football, David Weir. So he's fine. He's in his job. It's Paul Winstanley. He's our head of recruitment and has been for many seasons. And that's the guy that Chelsea want. By the way, Chelsea fans, if you are hopeful that Paul Winstanley can come in and soothe your striker issues, he hasn't done that for us. So, yeah, good luck.
Fair, that's a comment. That's a fair show. Right, let's... Luke, scores. How do you think this one plays out?
I'm going to go for a Desmond 2-2.
Is that wishful thinking or...
No. I generally...
straight up?
Yeah.
Fair show.
Yeah.
Joe, how do you think this one goes for you?
Which one?
Don't. I'm going this way for a fucking reason.
What's on me? Yeah.
Yes, Joe.
Right. Okay. 2-1 Brighton. Oh, yeah.
Good.
2-1 Brighton.
And Joe.
Right, you're going to call me mental,
No, straight up.
I'm sticking with my prediction that I made on my podcast. And I'm going for a big, heavy win. I'm going 4-0 Brighton. Yeah, we are going to go out there and do what we did to Man United and absolutely school them.
I swear.
I run the risk of making myself look like a right
I
idiot.
would pay good money for that. If it happens, you're going to get clipped up, and it's just going to be all over social media for the next
Clipped up for all the right reasons.
Yeah, exactly.
If we lose heavily, it'll go the other way.
Well, look, you win some, you lose some, innit? No, I think it'll be a draw. I think 1-1. I think Brighton have enough technically good players to break through Chelsea, and they have enough pace to be able to trouble Chelsea. But at the same time, Mount is really good. He's in a really good vein of form. And as much as it pains me, him and Sterling have a really good link up together, and Aubameyang is just capable of doing anything. So it's one of these games I want to watch it, because it was always the thing. Brighton are kind of like one of the guilty pleasures for me anyway, because they play such good football that you want to go out your way to watch them. And I don't know. I hope you get something out of it. Truly do. Archie's gone for a 4-0. Could happen. Why not? Swap Caicedo for Naby Keita. You interested? Right. Hannah's gone for a 3-0, sadly. Yeah, I mean, look, you wouldn't be putting your mortgage on it, but at the same time, away from home, anything can happen. You never know. Joe, your dog is getting a lot of love in the chat at the minute.
He was because I was eating my fish sarnie, mate. He was whinging at the door, so I thought I'd better let him in for a little bit before I shoot him out. You know what I mean?
He's all right.
Yeah,
he's all right. He's been been a good boy.
man.
The other game that we've selected is Manchester United and West Ham. Now, traditionally big rivalry. You know, this one, two sets of fans just don't like each other at all, and it's not a rivalry that you think it doesn't pop off at you. But if you go back to the early years in the Premier League, this was a game that sometimes had an awful lot riding on it. You know, but both sides involved in Europe. David Moyes going back to Old Trafford. Luke, what have you made of West Ham so far this season? Because I think it's fair to say they haven't been where they were, but they're bedding in a lot of new players. And like Manchester United, there's a lot of bedding in and trying to work out a way and a style of playing to get the best out of what they have. But he seems determined to go with Scamacca up front and almost force it to make it work. And for me, it's not really there yet.
No, it's not working. I think with West Ham's business in the summer, it looked good, but it looked risky because some of the players would have needed to settle. And obviously, West Ham brought that centre back from Liga for 30 million, broke his ankle in pre-season. I think he just came back on Thursday. Brought in Lucas Paqueta, done his shoulder. Don't know how long he's out for. Yeah, he'll probably be playing in the World Cup, probably. I think there was a time at the beginning of the season where West Ham fans were sort of turning, going, we might be going to say Moyes out because the football was still too negative and he kept on playing the same core of players. And I think he is trying to slowly adapt to use some of the newer players. I've sort of Scamacca's an interesting one because West Ham and strikers is a very odd relationship. West Ham has spent so much money on strikers in the Premier League era, and only a handful have actually done all right. I think the best striker has been Mikel Antonio when he was brought in as like a right midfielder. I think Scamacca's done a lot better in Europe than he has done in the Premier League, but I think it's just adapting, and I think West Ham is starting to pick up a little bit of form. But it's going to be very interesting to see if the form does turn badly again. Are West Ham fans going to turn on Moyes and go, "Yeah, this negative football, we need to get him out," sort of thing? Because
I think, look, they're up to Joe. They're up to 10th in the table. When we were chatting earlier on your channel, and they could be forced into something tomorrow that could actually really benefit them if they end up with Mikel Antonio playing on the right. And that could work out. That could really work for them.
Mm. Do you know, I put a lot of West Ham's early season sort of frailties down to it. I've spoken to Corey about this a number of times. I think David Moyes is too wedded to certain individuals. and he doesn't like to take them out of the side. West Ham fans for a while have wanted Souček out, they've wanted this, they've wanted that, no more Vladimir Soufal, all this sort of stuff. And I think we've seen a little bit of that with Haller, maybe. I don't know. I mean, Haller wasn't suited to that style of play, and he's gone on to be a success. And he smashed it at Ajax, didn't he, before he's moved to Dortmund? But I think he was just too wedded, and it's like, give these new players a chance. And now maybe you're starting to see that. I do think, look, we were talking on my channel, they don't have a great record at Old Trafford. So they probably lose this game, but I think I think for me, West Ham, because of what they need to do, is make a decision on whether or not they're going to try for Europe in the league, or they just go all out for the Europa Conference League, Kev. And if they win that, then they get in the Europa League that way. Because I just look at the league, it's got better. I look at the top six and I think, right, okay, so you've got the traditional top six, then you've got Newcastle, you've got a few other teams. And I just think because of that poor start, they've left themselves with a bit to do. So maybe just go all eggs in one basket in the Conference League, maybe, and try win that. Because I think they could win it.
They could win it, yeah, to be true. Joe, Manchester United, first and foremost, the issue with Cristiano Ronaldo is apparently sorted. What did you make of that at the time? And what do you think happens with him and them going forward? Because without him, they're a better side. There's no doubt about it. They're more fluid. Bruno Fernandes is a different player without Cristiano Ronaldo on the side. Losing Rafa Varane is a big blow. And I've seen tonight that David De Gea will not be going to the World Cup. He's not been included in Spain's 55-man preliminary squad. So, I mean, I find that weird, you know. But then for Spain, it just doesn't work for him. What do you make of this? Because if you look at the table, they're in good shape. And Ten Hag has definitely taken them forward, you know. But I think they're the great unknown in this league yet, because we don't know if they can keep this up. I mean, how do you see it?
I think first and foremost, in whichever way they do it, they need to shake Ronaldo, because I think the attitude issue there is just unbelievable. And yeah, and for a guy that came back and gave it the whole, I've got unfinished business to do at Man United, I'm going to give my all for this club, and then go and throw a paddy and walk away back into the dressing room even before the final whistle or whatever happened there, is just an utter disgrace, really. So yeah, and Ten Hag is a fantastic manager, and I feel like he's being held back by that ego of Ronaldo. So they need to get rid of him. They've been excellent when he's, as you say, not been in the side. And it's going to be a really interesting one because, yeah, I don't know where Ronaldo goes. Who wants him? Who wants him after what he's done there?
Well, so, I think he might have to, I mean, that's a good question, actually. Luke, is it a case with Cristiano Ronaldo that he's just going to have to either forfeit his contract and maybe go back to Sporting Lisbon and essentially not play for free, but take a dramatically reduced income to be able to go and finish his career where it started, kind of thing? Because I don't know what other options he's got, and that's the truth.
He's going to have to absolutely he's having the biggest ego check of his career, because he's no longer the top dog at United. Even like in the summer, he was willing to damage every bit of reputation with any club he's ever played at. Links to Atletico Madrid. I think there was odd links to Barcelona. It was incredible, like how many big bridges he was prepared to burn just to leave. And to see him rot at United is sort of quite funny to see, because no one wants him. Even if he did take a pay cut, no one is interested in having him. And it is quite... It's difficult. Like, the Liverpool fans like thinking this is absolutely hilarious, because the only place that he could go is either China, America, Saudi, and his ego won't let him go there because he's no longer playing Champions League football. And he knows that Messi, probably in the next couple of seasons, is going to break his Champions League record, and he knows that he wants to keep on playing in the Champions League so he can protect that record. But he's just not the same player anymore. It's obvious he's not the same player anymore. But I don't think he believes that he is 37. He probably still thinks that he's still the 25-year-old winger that can still do everything, still be the main guy. And I just don't think until he accepts that he's not that guy anymore, then he's going to keep on throwing his toys out the pram. And he is stuck at United. And United can't shift him. United won't pay out his contract. So I think he's going to be sitting on that bench for the rest of the season. And it's going to be hilarious. Because every time they're going to have a bad result, you already know what's going to happen. United pundits, oh look, Ten Hag's not, integrating Ronaldo in properly. It's going to be absolutely hilarious. Watch all the United legends absolutely just back Ronaldo to the hilt, no matter what he does, which is mental.
I mean, United are 6th in the table at the minute, sat on 20 points. They're probably going to come out of their group in Europe, and if you look on the face of it, Joe, it's all right. The season is going okay. From a shaky start, they've developed a style of play, and they're looking pretty good at the minute. But could the Ten Hag struggle if it does kick off with him, or is it just? I mean, how does he deal with this?
I think for me, the only reason he's brought him back into the fold really is probably it can only be for commercial reasons. I think he will go in January. I think as much as I'm enjoying the downfall, I do think Man United they should have let him go. They should have let him go. I didn't understand why they wanted to keep hold of a player that doesn't fit what they're trying to do, other than for commercial reasons, surely. And those that run the club probably say to her, look, you're going to have to use him. And Eric's probably looking at it and thinking, well, I can use him in the Europa League or whatever. But to be honest, I think Ten Hag's come out of it looking good. I still think they should have bombed him out completely. But you can also understand the other side of it, thinking he's probably, from the commercial aspect, saying, look, just keep him in and around the squad till January and we'll look to part ways. I do think they will, because it'll become untenable, both for him as a player in terms of his I agree with what was said about he was willing, he was going to go to City, he was going to go to Atletico Madrid. He's not bothered about anybody apart from himself. Yeah. I think they'll have to come to an agreement where he goes. Napoli keeps getting mentioned, but I think that's wild that they would even entertain that, because that would totally derail what they're doing. And for me, they're one of the best teams in Europe right now. Why change that?
I think it's crazy at the minute what they're planning to do with him. But you look at the other side of it, West Ham, I think they have the new owners and the new Czech billionaire or multimillionaire who bought into West Ham. It might be a case that he is saying to Moyes through, director of football, Souček and Kufau play, as much as possible. If you want more investment, he's going to be building it. Or he might be saying to him, look, I've got links with Sparta Prague, I think it is. We can do deals to bring players through. I don't know how they're going to work it, but going into this game at the weekend, if Bowen plays, I love Jared Bowen. I think he's such a good player. And if he plays, he will give Shaw absolute nightmares. He's the absolute perfect winger to give Shaw a schooling, to be honest. And it wouldn't surprise me if they come away with a draw. But we're getting to that stage in Europe now where squad depth in the league. We saw it with Arsenal, and I think we'll see it with Manchester United and West Ham. Squad depth is going to make a big difference. I mean, Joe, Joe from Brighton, how do you see this game with the scoreline? How do you see it finishing or playing out?
Yeah, I mean, they're both teams that are quite unpredictable this season. You don't know what sort of West Ham side you'll get. You don't know what sort of United side you'll get. So it really wouldn't surprise me if it was a draw. So I definitely think West Ham have got the firepower to get past United's shaky defence, especially with Varane out. And I also think United have got the quality up front. So I'll probably say it would be a 2-2 draw.
Luke?
I don't want to go for another Desmond. I'm gonna go 2-1 West Ham. United don't have enough goals in them. It's all pretty, but there's nothing at the end of it, sort of thing. There's no killer to finish off the chances, and they are sort of relying on a purple patch from Rashford and Bruno without Ronaldo to sort of bail them out, because I think Sancho is sort of sliding under the radar of having another absolutely poor, like he's not settled in as well as people have expected, and he's sort of just sliding under the radar of having a really disappointed season.
Yeah.
And that price tag is looking like another big flop at United at this rate. But yeah, got to go 2-1 West Ham. I think Antonio's up against Lindelof. It's going to be a very interesting battle.
Well, if Corey is right and West Ham line up a 4-2-3-1 with Scamacca up front and Mikel Antonio on the right, then Joe, they really do go into this with a chance. It wouldn't be beyond them to get a result of some sort going into this game, but
potentially. I think for me though, we were doing it on my show like the record. I don't think West Ham have done well at Old Trafford for a long time. They're not been great away from home, so I think Man United might win this one 2-1. I do fancy West Ham to score though, for sure.
Yeah, I think if they score early and try to quieten the crowd, get the crowd to see what they're like, see if the crowd start to turn a bit. The longer it stays 0-0, the longer West Ham are still in it and a threat. Anything could happen with that crowd. You never know. But look, I honestly, Manchester United should be beating them, to be honest. They are in a better spot. They're playing better football and they're at home. So I think 2-1, maybe 3-1. But if it was a draw the other way, it wouldn't shock me in the slightest. It's one of those. Then we get on to the game for tomorrow night. Saturday night, 7:45 kickoff at Anfield. Mental. But in some ways, it's really good because...
Blame your man for that. That's your man, by the way.
That's my boy. My boy did this. It is because he was the one that complained about the European
He's
sides.
good at that, Kev. He's good at that. He's
all the top managers are good at complaining. Like they are all great at complaining. No one saw Conte's meltdown midweek.
He was proved right more often. He's proved right more often than not, and it was ridiculous because we did it with the West Ham game. We had West Ham on a Wednesday night, and we had Forest at lunchtime. And every which way you dress it up, when you're talking and it doesn't matter who the club is, when you're talking hours to turn around for 2 games in the space of 2.5 days, you're not going to get the best product as a league to put on television. That's just the way it is. And it is a business. And the other side of it is it's a bank holiday weekend over here. So anyone who's traveling over for the weekend is going to get a really nice long weekend in Liverpool. And I know there's a few lads going over. But Luke, Leeds United coming to Anfield, given the patchy form that we've had this season so far, how do you see our form going into this at the minute? Forest result aside.
Jekyll and Hyde. 1 week good, some week it's not as great. It's really difficult because I don't think I can confidently sit here going, yeah, Liverpool are going to go back on that run again and we're going to forget about the beginning part of the season, because that Liverpool squad is looking really thin, even though that I think Thiago's back this weekend.
Yeah.
But it's going to be a difficult one because I don't know which version of Liverpool is going to turn up. Are we going to see the City Liverpool or are we going to see the Nottingham Forest Liverpool? That is what I'm worried about because I literally don't know which one's going to turn up at this rate. It could be really good where we beat Leeds, put more pressure on Jesse Marsh, or Leeds get a result. And then it's like, well, Liverpool's poor form continues. So it's a real difficult one to gauge, really.
Well, Joe, Jesse is on a horrendous run of games. Yeah.
Yeah.
First question: should he still be there?
Not for me.
No. Yeah. I mean,
Sorry, I did. I thought
No.
you. I thought you hadn't finished your I was
no.
straight
I'm
in
literally just going to go. The floor is yours.
Yeah, no, not for me. I'm not enjoying it. Can't lie. I've been on the trippers a lot, and you guys know that I absolutely love Bielsa. We were told it was a succession plan, and it's been nothing of the sort. I know for some that might have. What's that? Sorry.
It's been a disaster plan. It's not been a succession plan. It's been a disaster plan.
Yeah, it's not been great. I think some that might see us go up against like the Arsenals or the Chelsea. Yeah, we get the 3-0 win against Chelsea, who play really well against Arsenal. And I can understand, and it's high energy, it's this, it's that. And when we play the counter press, it can work. But the facts are, in the Premier League, it's not like other divisions, you know. These teams will mix it up. So when we go up against lesser opposition, if you like, they just go direct, and our manager has no answer for it whatsoever. We can't create, because like I say, we play counter press. We don't want the ball. We want to win the ball from you. But like when the onus is on us to break someone down, like we just can't create for Toffee, which is mad when I consider what we had previously. I've been impressed with some of the transfer business. I like Tyler Adams, Brendan Aronson, Matt Rocker's good, Luis Sinisterra's a baller. But overall, I don't think this man has the tactical nous to keep us in the Premier League. And I've said it a number of times. If he's still the manager at the end of the season, we will not be a Premier League club, which I'm just not his biggest fan. My thing is, are they waiting until January or when the World Cup breaks? My also, on the flip side of that, is like, are they going to back him further? Now, you could say if we got a striker, maybe it'd be different, and it could be. But even still, yes, let's say, for example, Bamford was the first season Premier League Bamford and he's scoring goals. I would argue would be comfortable mid-table, and I understand that. But what I'm saying is I still don't see a future past that, because I don't see how this type of football works in the Premier League. I don't think it does. It's far too narrow. It's one-dimensional. I think he's pretty one-dimensional. It pains me to say it because, listen, no, everyone say you always had it in for him because of Bielsa. I never agree with that, because it's like that's saying that I want my football club to do poorly.
That
I don't want my football club to lose. Who wants their football club to lose? I wanted him to come in and win every game. But ultimately, he hasn't got it for me. I don't know why he's still here, bro, because he's got 2 points from 24, right? And we've played teams at the bottom. Bielsa got sacked for 7 points from 24. And that was due to spankings from the likes of Liverpool, from the likes of Arsenal and stuff. But you've got to remember, during that time, we were playing with kids. Our squad was battered. We had COVID left, right and centre. Marshall's had a full fit squad, played teams at the bottom, and has only got 2 from 24. So it's not looking great. And listen, tomorrow, I think we get spanked. I do. I think you beat us like 4-0, Kev.
Is it a case that there are people higher up than Jesse Marsh who've banked on him and whose credibility depends on him, and they're almost wedded to him in a way that their credibility is shot if it doesn't work out?
Potentially, Kev. This is the thing. The only right thing this ownership group, Rads and Victor Orta and Kania, the only thing they got right was Bielsa. So they owe him a lot, and everything else. So before that, we had Thomas Christiansen, who was like managing in the Cypriot League, had got a team to a Champions League knockout stage at one point. I forget which team it was off the top of my head. Then Paul Heckingbottom. Then they get Bielsa. We have 3 years of absolute success. It's amazing. And then the thing is, Jesse was always coming in. Like, Jesse was always coming in at the start of this season, but they just brought it forward because Bielsa went tits up and they thought, we're not going to stay in the Premier League. So this was always the plan. So that's an even bigger worry as well. This wasn't a case of, oh, we're going to go get someone because Bielsa was doing poor. Regardless of what happened last season, they were always going to bring Jesse in. Victor Orta's got a bit of a hard-on for him. He really likes him, has followed him for years, all this stuff, loves the Red Bull model. I get all that, but I just look at Like Jesse's idol or father figure, if you like, when it comes to football, is Ralph Rangnick. Yeah. He came over, he worked with him at Leipzig, I think, for a little bit. Then he got the Salzburg job. And you've just got to look at what them two did in the Premier League. It doesn't work. Yeah. Rangnick's style of play. And I just think outside of that, Jesse has no answers. He's literally throwing darts at a dartboard. We played Arsenal, played really well, second 45. Great. Next game against Leicester, he makes 6 changes. Why? His then reason is, I don't think they could make out, so many games in so many days. Win the Leicester game first, and then tackle the Fulham game. Don't think you're just going to do this, make 6 changes. Tyler Adams gets injured, then he plays Sam Greenwood in centre midfield, who's not had a minute all season, so he's not even...
He actually did all right, Sam Greenwood, to be fair.
In parts. Yeah, he did, Kev, you're right. Maybe
he did okay.
Yeah, he did, but... I think so. 1 minute, William Yonto's ahead of Joe Gelhardt, and then Joe Gelhardt's coming on, and William Yonto can't even make the squad. I don't think he knows what he's doing, bro, and I don't think tomorrow. I have no clue what the lineup will be. I just know we're going to get beat. That's what I've got for you. Sorry,
Joe. You're the neutral in all of this. Have you seen much of Leeds this season? The Jesse Marsh Leeds.
I have to be honest, I haven't. I've only seen the results.
You beat us though, didn't you, bro?
That's the only time I saw you. Yeah. But even then, we were struggling to score a goal. I think it was a deflection, wasn't it, from a Solly March header? I think it went down as an own goal in the end. But I think from the results that I have seen, and even last season where you struggled to stay up, I think it's not a job that Marsh can do. But as I say, I haven't really seen much, so I wouldn't like to comment, in depth, because I don't.
No, that's fair. That's fair. Joe, I'll come back to you 1 sec. Sean Dyche.
I was about to say that. I'm about to say there's a
the reason I asked about Sean Dyche is because I got this thing with him. Is it a case that he was limited to how he could play and how he was able to? His remit at Burnley was keep them up. Here's your budget, develop a style of play to stay up. Then they got new owners, and new owners came in and said, we want to change the style of play and we want to evolve. And what he built fell apart. With better players, could he do something? Because I watched him. Did you watch any of the Monday Night Football?
I did, and someone sent me a clip of it, actually.
What did you think of it? Because
he was great, wasn't he?
I just think that someone is going to take a punt on him.
Yeah.
And look, I could be completely wrong, and he might revert to type 4-4-2, long ball, and just 2 banks of 4 behind the ball, hard to beat, and ugly and horrible to watch. But at the same time, I wonder if there's more to him than this. I don't know. And if it's one thing for certain, someone like him would make a difference. He would structure the side.
Yeah.
So at least you could recognize what you're trying to do. Because it's the one thing when you were playing last week and you were seeing balls playing out wide, and it was different to how you normally played. Everything was condensing through the middle.
Yeah.
And you were screaming at the time, play it out wide. But it was like, that shouldn't be. It shouldn't be a thing that, you're seeing the ball going wide and
I'm excited about it. Like it was a goal.
The players that you have good attacking wide players.
Yeah.
Where would you go if it wasn't for Jesse? If you got rid of Jesse Marsh, say Monday morning, Jesse Marsh is gone. Where do Leeds go? Because I don't think the transfer model is going to change with the owners that you have.
No.
So
who, sorry?
Poch.
Oh, that would be a dream, wouldn't it? Imagine. That would have been a dream. Obviously worked under Bielsa as well, but played for him. No, I think the guy Gallardo's been mentioned a lot. Gallardo, I think he's just finished at River Plate, maybe. I might be wrong.
Linked around Madrid, I think. He's been touted for couple of big jobs.
So he's been mentioned, and the guy at Bordeaux Glimt as well has been mentioned. But listen, they're just names no one knows because at the minute, the club are sticking to Jesse. So we'll have to wait and see.
We'll have to see how it goes.
You know, we were linked with Lopetegui as well in the past before Bielsa got the job. And I know he turned down the Wolves one. He's got stuff going on, personal issues. But is that another reason? Maybe Leeds are saying, okay, let's just wait for a little bit. And then if it continues to go tits up, maybe by that time, Lopetegui is willing to come to the table. So we'll have to wait and see.
Or an international manager.
Or an international manager
available.
World Cup. Yeah, exactly. I like, what's the Denmark manager called? Casper?
I don't know.
Hjulmand, is it? Casper?
No idea.
Yeah, he's really good as well. I am that good that I don't know his name. But, there'll be managers available.
There will be. All for certain. There will be managers looking for jobs and players looking for deals, you know, after this World Cup. But Luke, how do you think we line up tomorrow? Thiago's back. Ibu's available. Henderson's a doubt.
I think there'll be 2 changes. I think Konate will come in.
How do you think we line up?
I think it will be pretty much the same, but there'll be 2 changes. I think Konate will come in for Gomez and good old James Milner for Jordan Henderson. Because I don't think Thiago is going to be fit enough to start.
He's only missed a week. You know, he played in the game before the Forest game. And the other side of it is because of the positive results against Ajax, we don't have to do anything against Napoli. You know, that week, Spurs have to go away and get something in Marseille, so they can't take any luxuries. You know, we don't know what's going to happen with them, but we can actually almost go a bit harder on our players
midweek,
and then rest players midweek against Napoli, and go again against Tottenham the following week. So, is it a case?
I don't think they make wholesale changes. I don't think it will be 1 or 2, 3 at a push.
Okay,
and that'll be it. I don't see him doing the whole.
Give us your starting 11. What you think it'll be then?
Alisson, Trent, Konate, Van Dijk, Robertson, Fabinho, Milner, Elliott, then Firmino, Nunes, Salah. And that'll be it.
So stick with the diamond, yeah?
Yeah, stick with the diamond for this year. I know people are going to say, "Oh no, it's Milner," but I think he's going to have a job to play in this game.
I think. Well, Joe, if that's the case, and say Milner is in there, the way you guys press the ball, Fabinho ain't exactly the quickest or the most mobile at the moment. Milner's definitely not the most mobile at the moment.
If you sort of go so with the diamond, it'd be quite narrow, right?
Yeah, it'd be Fabinho at the base, Milner left mid, Harvey right mid, Bobby in a 10, and then Nunes and Salah up top.
See, I think that plays into Leeds' hands.
It does, doesn't it?
Massively. So I don't think I think Klopp will.
That will be 4-4-2. I don't know.
I think he might play with width. If he plays with width, then you listen. If you go with that diamond and play narrow, then that helps Leeds massively, and you know fills me with confidence. But I just think he'll look at it and I'm so glad Jota and Diaz are available because you know I don't know who's really available on the left hand side. Would Nunes play up there and have Firmino through the middle and Salah on the right? Like, how would it look if you were to go 3 up top?
If we went 3 up top, it would be Darwin on the left,
right?
Bobby through the middle, Salah on the right.
Still turn into the diamond because Firmino will drop in.
Firmino will, It's just a case of where your forwards start.
Yeah.
You know, if they start central and stay central is one thing, but if they start wide and go from wide to in, with Bobby coming in to link it up,
Carvalho to come in.
Yeah, you could have Carvalho. Look, the way I think it's going to go, I think we'll go Alisson, Trent, Konate, Virgil, Robertson. I think it'll be Fabinho and Thiago as 2 6s. And then more than likely Harvey on one side Curtis Jones on the left and Darwin and Salah through the middle. I think it'll be a version of a 4-4-2, but I think it'll be very much similar to how Leeds line up with 4-2-2. Call it what you like, But the two wide midfielders drop back. The forwards can split. There's various ways you could even play 4-2-3-1. With Harvey Elliott in a 10 role, Bobby up top, Darwin on the left, and Salah on the right. I think that 11 will play if Curtis comes in and plays off the left, you can do it that way as well. We're getting more and more players back at the right time, and they're needed.
Weeks away.
Pardon?
Got Naby Keita.
Naby might be available for after the World Cup. I don't think Naby will be involved in anything before the World Cup. And he might just have to prove his fitness in 1 or 2 games before he'll hopefully be sold in January.
And I'll be driving him there myself.
I think there'll be a queue outside Anfield to take him to whatever airport he wants to go to at this stage. But Joe, if you were to put a scoreline on this one, as a neutral, how would you 7:45 Anfield kickoff under the lights Saturday night? How do you see this one playing out, man?
Yeah, so obviously Liverpool did get a reaction after the Forest game in the Champions League, but I think they'll want a reaction in the Premier League as well. And I can't look past a Liverpool win at Anfield. So yeah, unfortunately, Joe, I'm going to go for a 3-0 win for Liverpool.
Luke?
I'll be slightly kinder and I'll go 3-1 Liverpool. I think Leeds will score.
Joe?
4-0 Liverpool, mate. Unfortunately.
I got 3-0. I think Leeds are capable of scoring. I said it on your channel and I believe this 100%. Leeds are like Brighton in a lot of ways, and like Ajax were. They want to press the ball high up the pitch. They want to win the ball back as soon as possible. They'll throw everything at that. But if we can play through that, we're straight in. And we have the forwards to. They don't have the pace at the back to handle Nunes or Salah. So I listened to Jesse's press conference, and he talked about trying to play narrow. But then he contradicted himself with saying he wanted to win the ball high up. And I was like, I don't know what you're saying. I don't know what you're saying. But I know I've watched a lot of Leeds this season. And they are aggressive with the press. Aronson is a really good technical player.
Yeah.
Leeds have players that can cause sides problems. Just can't finish. Couldn't finish the dinner at the minute. But are creating chances, and Liverpool do give up chances. Yes. I think they're the kind of side that you don't want to go behind to give them something to hold on to. I think first goal is important. If we get the first goal, then I think we'll be in for 3 points.
If you get it first, like the heads will go, man, as well. You know what I mean?
If we concede the first goal, give Leeds something to hold on to and something to fight for, the crowd will be up. It will be a really interesting game for sure. But guys, it's 11 o'clock and we've held on to you guys for a long enough tonight. It's been a long old week. Luke, what are you up to for the weekend, mate? Any plans?
What am I up to? I'm going to be watching the UFC. Calvin Kattar versus UK's own Arnold Allen. So I'll be watching that on the weekend and watching the football as well. So have a nice weekend off work.
Joe, have you got much going on this weekend, mate? Yeah.
Oh, yeah, just stuff over on the channel, mate. The kids are away in Blackpool with the mam, so I'm home alone. So I'm just going to be smashing content, a few games to watch and that. So City Leicester tomorrow, then our game, and I'll have a preview out in the morning live. So if you want to join me for that, it should be about midday.
Great. I'll tell you what, if you like your watch-alongs, get over to Joe's channel and do the watch. Oh, yeah. Watch the game, put the game on mute, and watch the game through Joe's eyes.
Kev joins me, don't you, Kev? I enjoy Kev. Kev's always bringing the knowledge in the chat, man.
But you go into the chat, man, and you chat with the people who are in there, and you watch the game. It is is a fantastic way to watch football. I tell you, you can't beat it.
Cheers,
Go over to
bro.
Joe's channel, subscribe, and enjoy yourselves. I promise you will love it. Joe, Brighton, you've got a big early start in the morning. So
Yeah, big early start. So 6 o'clock start on BBC 5 Live tomorrow morning. So that should be fun. Alongside a Chelsea fan. So that's not. Yeah, I'm not looking forward to that. And then going to the game with my dad. So yeah, it should be good fun. And then after that, on Sunday, I've got a lovely fixture with my my football club, Mental Health United. So big props to them for all that they do for the community.
Nice, love that.
right, great. Jonathan asked a question there. Is Haaland injured? Who's people's FPL captain this weekend?
Salah, baby.
I love the confidence, man. I love the confidence. The
Haaland.
loyalty is just flowing.
Mine's Haaland because I've got the
Trossard.
fantasy captain curse.
And you've gone with
So,
Trossard. Fair
Yeah.
shout. Fair shout.
That's the
Yeah, mine is Haaland as well, and I haven't changed it. And mainly because I think Pep's a lying little shit like the rest of the Premier League managers. I reckon
That's
Haaland. I reckon
100%.
you'll get 60 minutes out of Haaland. Don't worry about it.
I hope not, mate, because it's the early kickoff, and if he scores and I've captain Salah, I'll so
It'll
I've not
just
even
be
put
the-
him vice captain, but I'll put Martinelli as vice captain because I'm like, he's not going to play. Just
Yeah.
all right.
It's going to be a crazy weekend. There's not a lot of what you call your standout,
No,
huge neutral Premier League fixtures to get
Yeah.
you up on the edge of your seat. But there's a lot of good games this weekend that could split the table up a bit.
Yeah,
You could start seeing the table taking a bit of shape after the next probably couple of weeks. And I think hopefully we'll see a bit of a reflection in the league table over, say, by mid-November, and we'll see what the story is from then. But look, I just wanted to say thanks to everyone who come on. Luke, thank you very much for coming on. Did a great job on the buttons tonight.
Yeah.
Joe,
Thank
Albion Obsessed, and Joe Weinman from Just Joe Football Show.
Yeah, man.
Thank you both for coming on. Really appreciate it. And we'll see you guys. And thanks for everyone in the chat. If you could smash the like button on the way out, it would be appreciated. Tomorrow night, we've got the post-match reaction show with myself and Matt. And Sunday night is the Fatback 4. And it's a special show because you will see through our socials that we're going to be back with a new charity to be getting behind. So please keep an eye out on the show for Sunday, and all the details will be in there from then. Again, thank you all for coming, and we'll see you all again soon. Take care. Good night.
Cheers.